'cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space.
Hello, YouTube fam. What is poppin'? This is your boy J Money here, and it's been over a month and a half since I made a video. I will get into that in another video, probably the next one. So it's best not waste time because this one is a juicy topic. This is a topic that I've made a video on quite a while ago. I'm talking about months ago, but never uploaded it. I think this video was dated back to March. That shows you how serious this was because I wanted to get it perfect, but I don't think this is something you can get perfect. So, of course, it spoils it in the title of the video. Do players like or do they not like good cards? This would seem like a no-brainer as to, of course we do. We don't want bad cards. We don't like Scrap. Scrap Iron and Scarecrow is a terrible card. Nobody wants to play that. But let me go ahead and shake some things up. Let's go and shake some beliefs here. Share this video. Yeah, liking and subscribing is cool, but the most important thing you can do is share this video. I want this to get out. I want you YouTubers to make reaction videos and response videos to this. So if you guys can help me out with that, that would be awesome. And thanks a million in advance. So for starters, players do not like Krishan Unifiber and such. Don't like Numeron, don't like Dragoon. Forbidden Droplets is pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie. Tactical Talents, things like that. I feel like that's format dependent, but still extremely strong. Like, there's all kinds of cards that people do not like. Nibiru is still kind of a polarizing card. Maxi is a very polarizing card. This is arguably the best card in the entire game when it comes to modern standards. So, these are all really strong. So, first off, before we even get into it, let's go ahead and set a baseline foundation of what we define as a good card. Well, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh standards, a good card it's basically doing one of two things. It's either working for you or working against your opponent. It is either allowing your deck to go, or it is, telling your opponent to stop. It's either getting your deck off the ground, or it's keeping the opponent's deck on the ground. It's either giving you card advantage, or it's taking opponent's card advantage away, or stopping them from amassing card advantage in the first place. All kinds of things. So basically, you're either, it's either an enabler, or it's something to, disable. You're either making decks happen, you're either building boards up, or you're tearing boards down. This is yin and yang. You're either doing something for you or something against the opponent. But, however, most players tend to lean away from enablers and things that do things for you, and they tend to lean more towards the other side of the spectrum, being cards that just, do all the negative stuff. So, but why is that? So let's go ahead and start off with a couple things. So, well, first off, if you're still not convinced that we do not like good cards, let me go ahead and rewind back. Exactly a year ago, Rising Rampage starts it off. What do we get? We got Appaloosa. That was basically it. And Gizmek, but Gizmek was only used in a niche amount of decks. Appaloosa was the good card, and it was generic. And something that people seem to complain about is things having a generic nature. But that was the only chase card, hence we did not buy a lot of that set. We spoke with our wallets, we did not buy. Fast forward to the next core booster set being Chaos Impact. The only good card in there was IP Masquerena. Again, not too much going for it. Again, we spoke with our wallets. Chaos Impact boxes, Rising Rampages, they stayed on the shelves. Why did we not buy that product? Because there wasn't enough good cards in it to warrant us buying. Good cards drive sales, of course. Ignition Assault. Yes, we got the Plunder Patrol archetype, but in the hands of a really, really good player, it's tier 2 at best. However, you got a Lightning Storm out of that. Cross Sheep was a rare. They could have gotten away with making it an ultra or secret, and it definitely would have, people still would have chased after it. But Lightning Storm, realistically, the only chase card in that set, and that too didn't really do too well. Now, if you fast forward to Eternity Code, yeah, we bought that stuff up nice. You had all kinds of good cards. Mech Knight Orcus Gearsus, Link Crosses, Axis Code Talkers. Yeah, all a good number of those secrets were good. You know what I mean? The Trap Hole was nice. Gravedigger. Just so many good cards in that set. Ultras and secrets alike. That is what we want. We love good cards. But when we do get good cards, we complain about them. Even though, not too long ago, we were complaining about the opposite, that there weren't enough good cards. You know why? Because if they're not good cards, then that means the metagame is not going to move. Hence why, for a year and a half, you had the same decks being Sky Striker, Thunder Dragon, Orcus, and Salamangreat. This is why you had the same 4 decks at the top for a year, because you didn't give us good archetypes, which kind of include in the good card category, and you also didn't give us good generic cards to really shake up the game outside of Nibiru and Dark Ruler No More, which, some could probably argue a little too good, but we're going to put them in good category, just for the sake of the argument. Alright, now, let's go and start tackling this. Why would people not like a card like Neophyte? So, let me go ahead and say that in my history of playing, there has always been 2 extremely big reasons why somebody would not like a good card. One being accessibility, being the price of the card might be too expensive. You disagree? Let's look back at the Danger archetype when Nessies were upwards of $60 a piece. Tsuchinokos were also $60 a piece. Jackalopes were hovering around $25 to $30. The Nessies and them Tsuchinokos they were good. They're not so expensive, but players complained about it. A lot of them, they said Danger's too good, this, and this. And lo and behold, come 2019 Megatons, well, guess what happens? The Dangers got reprinted, they were extremely affordable, and to no surprise, people's mouths quickly shut. There was silence, there was no more complaints about the Danger archetype. Why? Because we have this thing called the placebo effect. The placebo effect being that we perceive things as better than what they really are based on either prices, hype, or whatnot. It's everywhere, it's just like a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Placebo effect being, somebody got killed behind this chicken sandwich, everybody is fighting over this chicken sandwich, therefore, this chicken sandwich must be really good, and our brain will trigger ourselves to thinking that way. And, that's what happens. And then, but in reality, if you sit there and blindfold yourself and you eat this sandwich and you don't even mention that this is Popeye's chicken sandwich, you just hand it to someone and say, this is regular chicken sandwich, blindfold yourself and eat it, they're saying, okay, it's pretty good. And that's normally what you're going to get. Placebo effect does that, as does the price of cards versus, us thinking because it's expensive, it's so strong, so powerful. But, the moment you get it gets reprinted, we stop complaining. And that happens a lot. But, that's not the only thing, though. The other thing being, okay, what if your deck can't play the Dangers? That would be another thing. Now, a lot of folks may not realize this, but we do come to disassociate with cards that the decks we are playing at the current moment, or the decks that we can afford, cannot play. I want to give you an example. Let's say I am a diehard Paleozoic fan, okay? I can't use Needle Fiber in that deck. I can't use it effectively, not as effectively as these other decks. So naturally, I'm going to have a disdain for that card because it does a lot. We can't deny that Needle Fiber does quite a bit for the decks to play. So I can't take advantage of a card like that and its power that it gives other decks. I can't take advantage of that power. So I'm not going to like this card, and every time I see it, I'm going to be like, oh man, here we go. Another Needle Fiber combo, and all that. So anyone who says that is typically someone who doesn't even own the engine or the card or whatever, as in, again, accessibility, or their decks just can't play it. You know, it all boils down to me being unable to play this card. But here's the trick. Here's the kicker over here. Let's say I am playing Paleozoics or Altergeist or whatever, but I can't use Neofiber. But you know what I do have? I have a Numeron. I have this Numeron package over here. So even though I'm not playing a super fast deck, I too have something really strong, really powerful that I can take advantage of. That is, you know, on nearly equal power level over here to take advantage of that those decks cannot take advantage of, thus evening out the playing field. Okay, but let's say I'm not playing a really slow deck, or I'm not playing a really super fast deck. Let's say I'm playing a mid-range deck, like Orcust or Salamangreats. What do I have there? Well, we got something for you guys too. You know this card that's just got released today, Dragoon of Red Eyes? That card is best suited for mid-range decks. Yeah, combo decks can play it, but the mid-range decks can use it the best. So, if you have Needlefiber for the combo decks, Dragoon of Red Eyes for the mid-range decks, and the Numeron stuff for the slower decks, you got something for everybody now. They're all a pretty decent power level, you know, on the same playing field. So, every deck becomes playable. Now, every deck being playable, is that a good thing or not? I'd say yes. I'd say if it's possible for any deck to be playable, I'm talking about, like, at this point, there's no excuse for even your Crystal Beast deck to not be able to top your locals and all that. So, at that point, if your Crystal Beast deck can top the locals, that's a good thing. You know, if you're still not convinced, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and put you into this kind of perspective. Let's say I'm a musket player. You die-hard musket players out there watching this video, watch this. Okay. Let's say a card got revealed tomorrow that specifically supported your archetype which you play. And let's say it was a musket quick play spell that wasn't a hard once per turn that said you can use one of two effects. You can either add a musket spell or trap from deck or grave to your hand, or special summon a musket monster from deck or graveyard. Again, not once per turn, quick play spell. You can add a spell or trap from deck or grave, or summon a musket from deck or grave. What is your response going to be? Your response is going to be like, oh my god, this is just what muskets needed. Musket's best deck. Let's go, Musket Master Race. Why? Because the card is really good, and you as a musket player get something really good for your deck that you play, and therefore you love it. That's naturally how that works. If you're still not convinced, let me ask you this. All you Crystal Beast players out there, which would you rather have? Would you rather have a Crystal Beast trap card that is like a Scrap Iron Scarecrow? You know, for those of you who don't know what it does, you flip it over when your opponent declares an attack, negate the attack, reset it down. So would you want an in-theme Scrap Iron Scarecrow, or would you want an in-theme counter trap that says when a monster would be summoned, or an effect that includes, you know, summoning, and or if a spell, trap, or monster effect would be activated, negate that activation and or summon, and if you do, banish that card also in your opponent's turn. Which one are you gonna pick? You're clearly gonna pick this one because we like good cards. We like strong effects. As much as you don't want to admit it, we love good cards, broken effects, busted effects. We love positive. We love going plus. We love denying our opponent. We love all of these things that people claim to hate. We love it as long as we're able to play it. As long as we can play it in our decks, we're gonna love it. Period, point blank. That's all there is to it. So, bringing it back to the question, do players like good cards? The answer is, hell yes we do. We just like it if we can play it. It's like, we love to diss punches, but we don't like to take punches back. And that's really what it is. And like I said, like normally it's, you know, 98% of the time it's affordability or your deck can't play it. And that's really what it boils down to. But if it is in a deck you play, you're going to absolutely love it. Period, point blank. But guys, did I miss the mark? If I did, feel free to say your piece down in the comments below. But with that being said, guys, I'm looking forward for all y'all's interactions and comments. This is gonna be good. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.